most of people on in the meeting now, they are very new. They are customers, but they're very interested in the business as well. They want to know more. So maybe you want to share, your journey, how normal people can also be successful at doTERRA, things like
Yes.
that. But first of all, you can introduce yourself. It's all yours. Take it
Good,
away, Jen.
good evening. And I'm excited to be on and work with you guys. So, I do business meetings because I really do feel like if I can build and be successful in doTERRA, anybody can. And that's my business, my kind of my motto that I go by is and look, I'm not anybody special or over the top or someone with a bunch of extra skills. I'm a normal person who created a lot of success. So I'll start out by telling you a little bit about me. 9 years ago, I had a friend come to me that I'm going to mute everybody for now, and then if you have questions, you can just raise your hand. There we go. So 9 years ago, I was telling my friend that I was struggling with anxieties, and she was asking me if I wanted to try essential oils. And essential oils had absolutely intrigued me in the past, and I thought, sure, I'll give these a try. And so I started to use the oils, and she started to mention doing the business and kept telling me, oh, you should do this business. And I told her, oh, there's no way I would ever do this business because nobody likes, yeah, I have my friends, but no one's going to listen to me. I'm not anything special. And I just can't do a business like that. I didn't really like network marketing. I hadn't really used oils. And so I didn't think anything of doing a business. But then I started to use the oils and saw how much they were helping me and my family. And I just thought, you know what? I need to share these with other people. Other people will benefit from these essential oils because I'm using them, and I really do want that. I want other people to have better health than we do. Now, at the time when I started using these oils, we had no money. We were living off of far below the poverty line standard for the U.S. There was never any money left at the end of the month, and I was doing things like growing a garden just so that I could have food to eat. But we didn't have anything extra. And about a year after starting to use the oils, I started to get serious about doing the business. And I thought, maybe I could make my car payment every month just doing this. Or maybe my husband and I could actually go out on a date to do this, so if I'm doing this business, I can make a little bit of extra money. So that's why I started thinking about doing the business. And then as I started to embark on that journey, I just thought, okay, if I'm making $200 US a month, then certainly I could make $1,000 US a month, and I could make my house payment every month. And so I started to work harder and harder so that I could figure out how to make more money with this business. And it was awesome because it was working. I started to make more and more money. So as time went on, I've eventually turned this into a business where I have almost 50,000 people on my team. And I am so excited for my friends in Malaysia for a couple of reasons. First of all, you guys are really, really lucky to work with Iman because he's experienced in network marketing, and he's had the opportunity to build other businesses. And more importantly, he's been successful in those other businesses. And so, when I started, I didn't have any experience, and Iman does have experience. And that's huge because he can help lead you to success. And I've seen him be very successful. He hit silver in 2 months of building the business. It took me a year to hit silver. And actually, it was like a year and a half. I didn't really do much my first year of building. I was building really slow. But once I started to get serious, it still took me, 4 months to hit silver, where he's hit it in 2 months. So he's accomplishing really great things, and he knows a good opportunity when he sees it. And it was fun to get to meet with him when I was in Malaysia and explain more about doTERRA. And I could just see him grasp the concepts. And I just thought, this is going to be, one of Malaysia's biggest leaders very quickly. And then he will be the biggest team in Malaysia, which is awesome. And you guys are lucky to work with him. Now, the other thing I'm excited about with Malaysia is the fact that the market is new. doTERRA has been very excited about Malaysia for a long time. Of course, Singapore was an office that opened up earlier. And I remember when they were opening up Singapore, they were excited about Singapore, but they kept making the comment that they were really excited for things to open up and start working out in Malaysia. Of course, you could still purchase oils. It's just you couldn't get them shipped directly to your door. You couldn't get paid in the local current, the ringgits. And that was difficult. And so, building in the beginning in Malaysia was very difficult, but, they opened just this last year for shipping. So it hasn't even been a year. And I know doTERRA's excitement for Malaysia because, one of our owners, I should say, used to work for New Skin and was involved with Malaysia. So he's familiar with the Malaysian market. And he just says, I know Malaysia is going to be huge. And in fact, in the few short months that Malaysia has been opened, they already have people who are outranking the top leaders in Singapore. Malaysia is going to be a huge market. And, doTERRA is, I'm very excited about it. I know doTERRA Corporate's very excited about it. And so now is a really great time for you to get started. And I always have to tell people, if you put a room of diamonds and above, and I would say that's doTERRA's first very prestigious rank, is their diamond ranks. That's when you're starting to make an average of, the average diamond makes $17,000 a month. So it's a very substantial income. That's like the rank people get so excited about hitting. That's when lives really, really start changing. And you're thinking, wow, I'm making this amazing income. My lifestyle has changed. But if you put a room full of diamonds together and above and ask the question, how many of you wanted to build the business when you first started using oils? Like, was your intention to build? Most people say no. In fact, they asked that, and only a fourth of the people in the room raised their hand and said, yes, when I signed up, I wanted to build. Most people say, oh, I was just using the product. And that's how I myself was. I was just planning on using the product. And I liked the idea of sharing casually as I went along, but I wasn't really intending to ever turn this into an income where I was making, almost $1 million a year. And I will turn it into an income that makes $1 million a year. That's what the exciting thing is. So, if you just started and you were just planning on just using the products, don't worry, don't stress, don't think, oh, I didn't start building right away, or I ruined it, or I didn't structure my team right. Don't worry about any of that. You guys can start from wherever you are and be very, very successful in the business, because, that's how I myself was. And many people, the woman whose team I'm on is Teresa Harding, and she has the largest doTERRA team. And she was telling me that she didn't think I was going to build. She said, I knew if you decided to build, you'd be good. I didn't think you were going to build. So she put me several levels down. And here I am, one of her qualifiers, down on her 5th level, just because she didn't think I was going to build, because I told her I wasn't going to. So, I'm very, very excited about the opportunity you guys have in Malaysia. In fact, we even joke around, maybe we should move to Malaysia for a year and help our team there and start building ourselves. And, we think about it because we know how big the market's going to be there. And, I also want to talk for a minute about doTERRA and why doTERRA itself is a really good opportunity. I keep talking about why it's a good opportunity in Malaysia, but I'm very passionate about doTERRA. In fact, just yesterday, I ordered some hair products from another network marketing company. I signed up so I could get the discount, but I'm absolutely not going to do their business. But they mailed me a copy of their compensation plan. And I looked at it and I immediately thought, this is why I love doTERRA. Because we have a unilevel compensation plan, and the way you get paid several different ways, but one of the ways you get paid is actually called unilevel. And that's where they take a certain percentage, of the people on each, or they pay you a percentage from each level in your organization. So in most companies, they pay you the most, like the highest percentage on your very first level. Well, that's ridiculous, because you have the fewest people on your first level. And doTERRA has made it so that you get paid the most on your 7th level. So it makes it so your check is higher, and it makes it so you are helping your team. You're not just looking out for yourself, you're looking out for your team as well. So I love that. And as I looked at this other compensation plan very, very briefly, I just thought, this doesn't encourage people to help each other to be successful. It encourages you to look out for yourself and only yourself. And I don't like that. So that's why I've loved doTERRA is if my team isn't successful, I'm not successful. So even their compensation plan is amazing because it encourages you to help your team. And when you're working together as a team, instead of, competing with your team, it's huge. And I really have felt from the beginning of this is that I'm working with my team. If they're not successful, I'm not successful. I want to turn, the people who truly want it, I want to help them create those large checks as well. I want them to be successful. So that's why I've enjoyed doTERRA. A couple of other things I really like about them is the owners are incredible. In fact, I'm actually going to Africa, to Kenya, which is in Africa, tomorrow. And I get the opportunity to spend time with 3 of the owners, including Greg Cook, who's over international. And I'm excited because I'm going to talk to him more about Malaysia and what they're expecting to see and, how they're coming along with just how the market's coming along. I'm just really excited to talk to him. But, I truly do love the ownership. The owners have a lot of, if you combine their experience, they have a lot of experience with network marketing. And they also have a lot of experience in essential oils, even before doTERRA started. So they're very well groomed to do what they're doing. And several of them have had the opportunity to work internationally or in Malaysia, companies that are working in Malaysia and internationally. And so they're able to really help things grow at a good pace. They've experienced how things work. But I love our owners. I love their integrity. I love their experience. And, I always tell people, if you think about a friendship or a marriage or a business partnership or anything, that things are successful when you successfully go through a hard time together. It's easy to be friends when things are easy. It's easy to be married when things are easy. What truly tests a marriage is going through a challenge together. Same thing with a business is how does doTERRA handle challenging times? And doTERRA was hit with a couple of really difficult things in the last 2 or 3 years, things that literally have stopped growth in other companies or had their growth fall backwards 75%. And doTERRA is actually far ahead of where they were when they've run into some of these issues. And they're nothing to be concerned about. It's just in the US, we have certain government regulations. We have the FDA who likes to really control what people say about natural remedies and how they help. And doTERRA has worked very hard and diligently in being compliant with them. And this is just a small example. But, the FDA can come in and shut down in other companies, and they have. But instead, they actually came to doTERRA last week and said, you guys have a shiny gold star. You are doing so well with what we've asked you to do. And I think that's amazing because I've seen it tear apart other companies. So my point is I love the knowledge and the maturity and the experience of our owners so that when difficult things come up, they can handle it. So that I know, when stuff comes up in the future, because challenges always come up, I know they're going to handle it well. I know I'm with the right company, and I know that my team is going to continue to grow and thrive. I feel very safe and confident in working with doTERRA as a company. So very much so appreciate them and what they've done to create a sustainable income for me. It's not something that's just going to overnight disappear. They have continued to grow at an incredible pace, and they will continue to grow at an incredible pace. And it's amazing how many people come to me and say, oh man, I wish I would have started at the beginning. And I want to say, my biggest leaders are the ones that just started 2 years ago, not the ones that started 8 years ago. They're the new ones. Like, this is still a very amazing business opportunity, even if the company is 10 years old. But you have the benefit of knowing you're working with a super solid company because they've been around for a while, but it's still in a really big growth period, which is benefiting all of us. So I really am grateful for doTERRA. Very grateful for it. So I really do want to encourage any of you who just have that little burning desire of, oh, maybe I could share, or maybe I could do this, to do it. Just start. There's a lot of really great trainings out there. And, I would definitely follow whatever Iman has outlined, whatever he's recommending you to do. But just follow what he's doing and follow his footsteps. And if it interests you to build, just do it. And it honestly just starts with sharing the oils with people, giving somebody a bottle of peppermint to help with their headaches, or giving somebody lavender to help so they can sleep better at night. But just start by just moving forward and sharing. And then there's many, many great systems and trainings out there to help you to be successful with this. And truly, if I can do it, you can do it. So Iman, let me unmute you. I just muted everybody so that there wasn't any feedback. You are unmuted. So what other questions do you have for me, and what else can I go over?
All right. We have a lot of new people coming on board. They came on as customers, and most of them thinking that they just want to stay as a customer, right? Now, what do you think is the thing that will make them see the business? I mean, if I were to try to get a customer to take a look at the business, what should I do? How should I share to them? Because these people, they just want to buy, they just want to use, they're not interested in the money, they don't want to do the business. Now, normally, I mean, in the US, what makes someone, change from a customer to become, a builder?
That's a great question. And I can answer that because that was me. You came on wanting to build. I didn't. And I think the more positive experiences somebody has with the oils, it's difficult not to share. So, the more that I had good experiences, the more I thought, I really want other people to have these good experiences too. And also creating a really good community. So, where you guys are very close as a team, people want to belong to something and they want to feel supported. So if they're really enjoying their experiences with with the oils, they feel like they belong to something. They're going to want to bring other people in to experience that same thing. It's just like convention. I went by myself my first year, and doTERRA's annual convention, they have a global annual convention, usually in the fall. It's usually in September in Salt Lake City, Utah, in the US. But basically, doTERRA releases studies on essential oils. They release new oils. They talk about the science behind them. And it's amazing how many people who attend that, even as users, come back and say, I want my mom to hear this, or I want my grandma to hear this, or my sister or my friend. I want to bring my husband next year. They want to bring people back because they're so touched by the oils, the company, and what they do. So the best thing to do is to help increase people's experiences and exposure to doTERRA. So I always tell people, if you want people to use oils more, share the product. If you want them to build, bring them to company sponsored events whenever they happen so people can see what the company's like. So just keep sharing those oils more, give people good experiences, and then they're going to want to share. Like when the oil helps their headache, they're going to want it to help everyone else's headache.
Okay. All right. Is it true, or can I say that most of the successful people, the successful advocates in the United States, they started out as customers? Can I say that? Is that somewhat true?
75% of diamonds and above in doTERRA started out just as a customer. Yes, that's totally true. It's a funny thing we joke about. I wasn't going to do the business. And then they changed their mind.
Yeah. So why is that, Jen? Why is that so different in doTERRA? Because I've been in network marketing for the last 10 years. It has never been like this. It's not like this, right? Business builder will start, building the business, and customers will stay forever a customer. But why is it so different in doTERRA that customers, they can evolve into builders? What do you think, in your opinion?
I think it's because doTERRA has such a strong product, and people's health is huge. And when they experiencing a life-changing event because of oils, they want to tell everybody they know. And you yourself have a very powerful story with the oils and what they've done to help your family, and you wanted to help other people experience that same thing. So I think it's human nature to want to spread the good news. So if you find something that's changing your life, you want everybody to know about it. And so, for me, that's what happened with my anxieties and just our health in general is I went from relying on going to a doctor every time my daughter even got a sniffle, and then to realize that I could take care of most of those things just from home was huge for me. And it was like, I wanted to share that with as many other people as possible. Even, we share like our favorite restaurants, our favorite doctors, who cuts our hair, we like to tell other people, oh, go to this person, go to this restaurant, go to this new movie theater or whatever, because we want people to experience the joy we are experiencing. So I think with doTERRA, you're experiencing so much happiness from being healthier and loving the products that people want to share with other people. At least that's what it was for me.
All right, good. Most people, most customers, when they come on, when you talk to them about the business, they probably say, "Oh, not me. I don't know how to share. I don't know how to talk, and I don't have friends. I'm not good in sales," and it goes on and on. But how come? How come in doTERRA that people eventually they end up being so successful and they've never done network marketing or direct sales before in their life? And it's really unusual for me. And just my own experience, right? For the last 2 months, I would say 90% of the people who enrolled with me, they're just customers. I've never attracted so many customers before. So I'm just kind of skeptical that whether these customers are going to end up building or not. That's why I keep asking that. Yeah, of course they're going to stay as customers. They're going to keep buying the oils, but when will they actually make the switch or do both?
Yeah. So
like okay, sorry, Jen, can you maybe like share your personal journey, because you started as a customer, you never even thought about doing the business, and you ended up becoming so successful and one of the most successful blue diamonds in doTERRA. I mean, how did that happen? Maybe you want to share the transition, when actually took place, the change, in your journey.
Yeah. So just numbers, I'll tell you from a numbers standpoint that 86% of people in doTERRA will not ever enroll somebody. And that's just fine. But you do have 14% that will. So most people that sign up as a customer, they're not gonna build, and that's okay. We actually, having a strong customer base is huge, because those are very loyal orderers. They're not waiting for a check to keep ordering their oil. They're ordering no matter what because it's helpful. So it creates a really good, solid base for your business. People come along at different times. In fact, Richard does a presentation, which is awesome. And he just talks about, in the beginning, you've got your early adopters that are willing to cheer on anything that you do. Your wife, your mom, your family, your really close friends. They're going to sign up because you're doing this and they want to support you. And you have a lot of friends and people, and acquaintances watching you to see how it goes for a while. And they might sign up just to use the product, and they're going to watch you become successful. So the more successful you are, the more your family and friends and acquaintances and people that know you are going to think, I want to do what he's doing. I want to hitch my wagon to his, because he's supporting his family doing doTERRA. So, for me, I started using the oils, and my friend gave me oils in November of 2009. So I just had my first baby, and I was using the oils, and I liked them, and I wanted to sign up. It took me 4 months to save enough, or 3 months to save enough money to sign up, because we were very, very poor. But I was very determined to do it. And so in February of 2010, or January 31st, I should say, I signed up. And I was casually sharing at the beginning, I told a friend about it, that I'm like, you know what, I bet you she'll really like these, because she's into natural stuff. And so I let her use my oils. And I didn't really do anything with it, because like I said, I didn't have any belief in myself. My husband was telling me not to do it. He said, you can use the oils, but you can't do the business. Now, he's never been one to really dictate what I do. That's just not how it works in our marriage. It's kind of like, if I want to do it, I talk to him and say, no, I really do want to try this. And usually he's open to it. So, in February, I just started using the product. That first year, I did 3 classes total. And it was when my upline, Teresa Harding, came to my house and taught classes for me. And they were not successful classes. The first one my grandma came to. That was so nice, sweetheart. Thanks for inviting me. But, really nothing came. I think she ordered a bottle of lemon once, 2 years later. my neighbor came and handed me my handouts back and said, thank you, but these are too expensive for me. And then I had another friend who showed up and bought a bottle of peppermint, and she's never ordered since. So I was like, well, that was a raging success. And I thought, no, I just really don't want to do this business because no one's going to really do this. And then she did another class a couple months later, and I had one person show up late, and she told me, I'm not going to sign up for an account because I am not going to give you my social security number. Because at the time you had to give out a personal identification number, even if you were, anyway. So she didn't sign up. And then the next time nobody showed up. So I just thought, this isn't even working. And then I don't know what clicked in my head, but about a year into it, so I signed up in February. The spring of that next year, I started signing up some people in Boise, Idaho, which was a town that was about 4 hours away from me. And I thought, you know what? If these people are liking these oils, there's millions of people all over the world that are going to love these oils. And I need to give this a chance and really try this and let it benefit me and my family and our finances because, you know, if these people love it, there's other people that love it. And so I started to put a lot more time and effort into the business. It was about May of 2011, really started putting in a lot of time and effort. And then I went to my first doTERRA convention that fall. So I think it was in October of that year. And I actually hit silver by that convention. And I went to convention saying, I'm going to come back next year as a diamond. And I did. I hit diamond in June of 2012. It was actually the month that I had my twins. And that was a goal of mine. I thought, you know what? I want to hit this big, huge rank the month I have my twins because I don't know that anyone else will ever do that. Just because most people don't have twins. You know, lots of people hit a big rank the month they have a baby, but twins. And I did it. And I just told myself, I'm going to do this and I'm going to make it happen. And it's crazy what happens when you set your mind to something. You know, I achieved a very difficult goal because I was determined to do it. I had a lot of excuses and reason why I could have said, oh, I can't do it. I'll wait till next month. But I realized I had the chance to change my family's life and change our finances and create new experiences for my kids. And I thought, you know what? I'd be selfish not to get to try this. So for me, it took me about a year to really start building, 15 months even.
So what happened once you hit diamond? Everything just rocketed?
Everything rocketed. So I hit diamond. My volume was 65,000 OV the month I hit diamond. And now my volume for July, or for, no, excuse me, what month is it? October, my volume hit 2.1 million. So yeah, we had 2.1 million of sales in October, and I think November will beat it, and December will likely beat November. So, because December is usually doTERRA's, you know, my biggest month. But it's crazy. Like, diamond was a success for me, but I've taken my team, and the growth has exploded in the last 5 years. So yeah, it's been, and what's been the most fun for me is, yes, seeing a really great income. So I went from making like, you know, 7,000 a month as a brand new diamond. Because when you first hit diamond, you make good money, but it's usually not as high. What happens is the size of your team grows, so your check goes up. To, you know, my check is, you know, getting close to being 10 times as much as it was when I first hit diamond. So and that's because I've helped other people to become successful. So I hit a rank, but then my check growing is dependent on me helping other people. And it's been fun to see people create so much success with it. I've loved that.
That's really mind-blowing. What, 2 million? Your organization has volume?
Yeah, we had
That's wow.
it was almost 2.1 million in volume, which is crazy. I love it. And
it's crazy.
We had over 2,000 new wellness advocates join our team as well. That's the cool part. So my team grew. It was my highest volume, my highest month for new enrollments. And what I love about that is I've been doing this for 8 years. So when people tell me I should have started when you started 8 years ago, I'm like, okay, well, so when I started 8 years ago, one person was joining my team a month, and now 2,000 are joining my team a month. Now is the better time.
And do you have any control over that? Or the volume just keep coming in without you, like, having any control over it,
Yes and no. I mean, I have really good, solid leaders, and there's a few things that control the volume now. Is doTERRA doing a promotion? So if doTERRA is doing a promotion, obviously my volume is higher. The time of the year also controls my volume. So, but I will tell you, I have leaders who, in doTERRA, your volume goes like this. You go up, but some months you dip down lower, and then you're higher, and then you dip down lower, and then you're higher. If you have a crappy attitude and you're thinking, no one's building, no one's doing anything, you're going to be like this. So, the reason my volume's going up is I have a few leaders who really they're moving upwards. They're working really hard. And then I have others that are very level because they want to be victims of circumstances. They want to say, well, doTERRA is not doing well, and doTERRA is doing well, but it's summer, I can't build as much. So really, you have to decide what you want to happen. The bigger the bigger the team, my team gets, the less control I have because there's more people building, and I can't control everybody. But it's funny, as long as I'm enrolling, my team is doing better. It's like I feel like they always follow the example of their leader. If their leader's enrolling and continuing to build, they're enrolling and continuing to build. So I've never stopped enrolling. I actually have 2 appointments this morning, back to back, just talking to people about the oils. One wants to build, one wants to help her lungs. So it's amazing.
Yeah, we saw that, Jen. I witnessed you close an Uber driver, right? Yeah, I mean, Jen is like, she's like a walking enroller. Everywhere she goes, she enrolls people. So I think that's the one very unique thing about her. Okay. You have any questions for Jen? This is an opportunity for you to ask questions. You want to ask her. Get this all the time.
Yes.
Yeah. Any questions?
Ask away.
Do you have any questions?
Iman, I have a question.
Yes.
My name is Sue. Okay, actually, I was looking for something for my daughters because of their anxiety.
Uh-huh.
So when I browsed through Instagram, I came across Iman. So I started, my daughters just started using the oil two weeks ago, and it seems to have effect on their well-being.
Yes.
Okay, actually, I have a question here about how do you have a good product, how do you approach somebody with the oils? Like, you don't just take out the oil and say, hey, I have peppermint here, it's good for a headache. How do you actually approach them?
So I like to share a sample with people. That's one thing I like to do. And just say, hey, you know what? I've been using this peppermint oil, and I thought of you because I know you struggle with headaches or whatever it is that I'm wanting. I know that they have an issue with, and I like to hand them a sample, and I tell them how to use it, and just say, I want you to enjoy this peppermint. And then I also try to set up an appointment with them. So, there's a good sales training that I'm going to be doing more trainings on, because I know not everybody has access to the training. But it just talks about a really simple approach of setting up appointments with people. Is I try to engage in a conversation where they become interested in the oil. So, I'll ask them, hey, have you ever heard of essential oils? And, just let the conversation go from there. And the key is making it about them, asking them questions, listening to them. They don't care what you know. They want you to listen about them. So, listening to them and what they've got going on in their life and how these oils can benefit them. And then I set up an appointment with them so that I can teach them more about the oils. But basically, it just starts with me asking if somebody has ever heard of an essential, hey, have you ever heard of essential oils? And, oh, no, I haven't. What are they? And I'll just say, oh, they're plant-based medicine, and they've been working really well with headaches. And, and then I just keep kind of throwing things out there for people to catch on to. And then, and then I turn it to them and ask them questions about what's going on with your health, or what are some of your goals, or what are some of your concerns? And then once they start talking, I then try to set up an appointment to meet with them and take it further.
Okay, what if you have friends and they say, oh yes, I do know about essential oils. Like I have a friend, she was I don't know, somebody approached her and asked her about Young Living. So she does know that I'm using doTERRA because she's one of my best friends. And then she says, since she got some Young Living from her friend, she will be using that first, and she will buy a diffuser that, I mean, that is not doTERRA. How, what reply would you give her? Or I don't even know how to, approach her about it, that it's good, even
So
though she has never tried. But since somebody gave her Young Living before, I shared with her, because that day I happened, we went out to celebrate my birthday, and then she had a headache, and I happened to have no, she had a stomach ache. So I said, I have peppermint with me. She said, for what? Then I told her, and then she put it on her stomach, and after that the stomach ache went away during the movie. And then she says, then I told her, you maybe should try these oils, because for your health. She's a very health conscious person. But then she says, but since she was approached by Young Living, so I know, I Googled about Young Living, so it's like one of the doTERRA competitors. Is that true?
yes, so a lot of doTERRA's owners used to work for Young Living, and
Okay.
there is a lot of interesting history with Young Living, and I will tell you that it ends in doTERRA's favor. Um, but whenever I talk to people about other companies, I don't ever want to bash their company.
Yes.
Like if someone came up and told me, "Oh, you're wearing that brand of clothes. That is so stupid," or "Those are so ugly," I'm gonna shut off completely anything else they have to say. So if they say anything
Mm.
negative about me, something I like, something I'm wearing or using, or my kids, I'm gonna cut them off. But the best thing they can do is share, additional information with me. Like, so for example, my biggest leader on my team is Melody Watts. She's a presidential diamond, and I met her on Facebook, and I saw that she did home birth. And U.S. home birth is not illegal like it is in Malaysia. And I reached out to her and just simply said, "Hey, I noticed that you do home birth. I think that's so amazing." And I just started talking to her about it. And then I told her that I was selling essential oils, and she said, "Oh, that's great. I use Young Living." And I said, "That is so awesome that you like oils. And if you like Young Living, you're gonna love doTERRA." And I just simply asked if I could share a sample with her so that she could compare the difference for herself. And I gave her a sample of oil. I don't even know what I gave her a sample of. It's been 7 years, 6 years. But here she is, a presidential diamond. And all I did was, I didn't say anything bad about Young Living. I just gave her doTERRA's oils to try and told her if she liked Young Living, then she would love doTERRA. So I kept it
Okay.
that simple. It's just letting her decide for herself that she liked what I
All
was.
right, Jen, how much time do you have?
So I have a call in 11 minutes.
All right, can we have anybody else have another couple of last questions for Jen? Anyone?
This has been so fun.
Yeah, in Malaysians are like that, Jen.
I know. This is why I love to come and visit Malaysia.
Yeah. So when you come back,
When am I coming back? That is a good question.
are you coming for the official launching?
I've got to see when it is. So
Yeah.
I keep asking,
Okay.
when is it? When is it? Because I can't. I don't know if what I've. We may have I have like a family. There's a couple things I can't be gone for next year, so I'm hoping it's not during those times.
Right. Shahida, Rosanna, anybody have any questions? Do you mind? Are you comfortable sharing, like, what's your average current paycheck?
Yes. So I do think that this next month that November's check or October's check will be my highest check, but I'll find out on the 15th. But I would say my average check is about $1,000 US.
Okay.
So my husband always likes to guess what my check will be. But what's crazy is when I started using oils, we made $19,000 that year. And now there are months that I make 3 times like what I made a year in a month. So it's like I was making 20,000 for the year, and now there's some months I'm making 60,000 just for the month. Like it's incredible. I wasn't really planning on that happening, but it's been a great thing. And now if I didn't have to pay so much taxes on it, that would be really good too.
All right. And Jen, how much time do you put into doTERRA? You're a mom, you're a wife, you know, and you have kids, you know, and your kids are like a handful of mathematics, you know. So how do you manage, man?
My kids definitely are a handful. I love them, but yes, definitely a handful. So I work, you know, I hire a nanny to come in 1 day a week. She comes in every Monday morning so I can meet with my frontline leaders undistracted. I would say, but then everything else I kind of just do when the little guy's around. All my other kids are at school, so I just have the baby at home. He's almost, well, he'll be 2 next Tuesday. But I do probably 20 hours a week would be my guess. So, you know, sometimes, like last night, I had an appointment with somebody. I drove 45 minutes to go help them with an appointment. And then, yeah, probably 20 hours a week. I've never done tons. You know, there are some people in doTERRA that are putting in 80 hours a week. That is not why I signed up for this business. So, you know, I tailored it to what I wanted in my lifestyle. And that's the beauty of it, is you can do that. You're not answering to anybody else. You don't have to work their hours. You pick what you want to work.
All right, Jen, one last question, yeah. Anybody, nobody, then I'll ask the last question, okay? Okay, you know, can we do a special leaders meeting with you whereby we just invite the elites, you know, only people who achieve elites so that you can talk at a different level? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can do it. We just need to get a date on the calendar and make sure that we both are thinking of the same time.
Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
make
All
sure
right.
we're on the same page with the time, so there's no more confusion. But yeah, just pick a date. I'm open. I mean, I travel a lot.
Okay.
Let me give me like 10
Yeah.
minutes notice, and we can make it happen.
Okay. Would you fairly say that elite is a benchmark, or would it be silver?
Every rank is an exciting benchmark. I actually never hit elite. I just hit premier. I went from executive to premier. You know, every rank I've hit was exciting. You know, I think, you know, hitting premier, I was super excited to hit that. I think the ranks I was most excited to hit were silver and diamond, and then blue diamond. So, but I think that silver and diamond, even though I never hit platinum either, I've never hit the rank of platinum. But gold was exciting, but silver was huge, diamond was huge. Every time I did something new, it just felt good.
All right. Okay, Jen. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Yes, it's been fun to be on, and I will send you